So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and as you can see, I'm in a gym today, but not any old gym. This is TWPT, and I'm really pleased to be with co-owner and head trainer Dan Green.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you, Nick. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for asking me in. It's a great space. It really is.
Yeah, it's a lovely opportunity you provided for us to be able to sort of show what we offer.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because the amount of people that see the big wooden doors,
yeah,
and are intrigued to know what's behind them.
The doors.
The amount of times the door's left open, someone's sort of just poking their head in to see. So it's actually nice to be able to have some visuals as well of what up here looks like.
Yeah, good. A little bit of background on TWPT. You were established in 2012. Main aim is the goal of helping your clients become as fit as they can be. You have a dedicated person-centered approach, which you believe is the ultimate way to reach your fitness goals. And really good ethos there. Let's go back, Dan, and talk about you and how you got to where you are. Have you always been a personal trainer?
No. Initially, when I left school, I did my A-levels. I didn't go to university, and I was working in an office for just a big company.
Yeah.
And I was sat there every day, clock watching as you are, and you're sort of 19 in your first office job, and thinking, I don't really want to do this for the next 40 or 50 years. Yeah. What do I enjoy doing? And I was just getting into the gym at that stage, so I went off to do my qualifications, and that's why I got into personal training. So about 19 or 20 I was.
Yeah, right.
And then I got my first job over at what is now Nuffield Health. It was a sporter at the time.
Yes, I know, yeah.
So I worked there and worked up into management and started to build my client base up there. Mm-hmm. And then Ed offered me the opportunity of here. So Ed was the founder, the original owner of TWPT.
Yes.
And he offered us a position, myself and another trainer who were working there, a position down here.
Okay.
Sold us the dream. And of course, at that time, there was nothing else like it, certainly in Tunbridge Wells.
Right.
So we didn't know whether it could work or not. But the way that Ed had designed it, he designed it not only to be a great place for clients to train, but also for personal trainers.
Okay.
So, it took a bit of a chance, but it turned out to be a brilliant idea from him, and it's been brilliant.
Well, I mean, first of all, location is everything, isn't it? And we are right on top of the train station, pretty much.
Yeah, we are, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a big thing when we first opened, was for commuters.
Yeah.
You know, if you're coming in here training at 6 or 7 in the morning, you can leave your stuff here if you want. We've got bathrooms with showering facilities, private bathrooms, not changing rooms.
Yeah.
And people disappear on the train, or vice versa, do it on the way home. So the location was key, I think, to initially building our reputation.
Yeah. So people do actually go, before they go to work, come in, get on the train. When they come back from work, come in and do another session.
Yeah, it changed post-COVID.
Okay.
Just because people working in the office less. So our days changed a bit, where now people actually quite like to come in on their hybrid days working from home.
Yeah.
But we are actually seeing more and more people actually go back to the office. So there's a lot of clients from the new year going back into like 4 days a week in the office. So we're seeing people go back into those early mornings and late evening sessions. Yeah. Okay.
One of the benefits you mentioned of this space is the fact that it's this, of course, it is quite spacious, but people can just come and go as they please, and it's only personal training. It's not like people in the corner doing their own thing. So it's private, isn't it?
It's completely private, and that's really nice for the trainer and the client. So the trainers know they've got the space, they're working with other trainers so they can get on the equipment they want to get on. And the client knows they're coming into a private space where everyone's in that one-on-one setting. So as you say, you haven't got anyone wandering around or looking like they're going to injure themselves with the kit. And when people do want to have those private conversations, because we're seeing it more and more in personal training now, the importance of psychology. Well, the culture's going that way anyway, isn't it? But in terms of in personal training, we see it a lot, and actually quite a lot of our work is actually working with clients' mindsets.
Yes.
Because if you're building muscle, of course, and building strength, that's all going to be done here. But if someone wants to lose weight, the majority of that is done away from the gym.
Yeah, right.
And so really it's working with clients to understand their habits and their mindset and how we can improve that away from here. So being in a private setting allows people to be a bit more open. Yeah. And we all have insecurities and things that we don't like to discuss in public, and being in a private space means that you hear you in private space. It feels like you can really have those good conversations. I think that you hear it there, because people are shy about offloading that sort of stuff. I was saying to someone a couple of days ago who was a personal trainer, and I said, you guys are like hairdressers, bear me out with this, but because you hear all the woes and all the troubles and what's going on in the world right now, and if they've got the space to do that, then that's really helpful. And life coaching is something that you do, isn't it, an offer? Life coaching, we have a life coach. So a lot of the trainers understand psychology more now, and that's a thing across the industry. But we actually have James, who is our life coach. So he's a qualified counsellor.
Right.
So we have someone within the business who can really work with people if that's important for them moving towards their goals. And actually with life coaching, he actually hybrids it with personal training.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people that just come in for life coaching.
Is it? Right.
Really just to understand themselves better.
Yeah.
And get more direction. So we see a lot of people not necessarily understanding maybe their values and just wanting to reconnect with those. And actually having some really good conversations and some guidance can be really helpful. And we have a private office at our second studio, Good Station Road, and that's where the life coaching takes place.
Right.
But yeah, being able to offer that, and we offer sports massage at the other studio now as well, means we feel like we've got a pretty comprehensive thing going on here at TWPT, where it's for your mental health, physical health, or relaxation or injury. We feel we can help a lot of people.
Yeah, because all that stuff crosses over, doesn't it, with one another?
Massively. Yeah, massively.
So you mentioned James, and tell us about the other people that work here, the other trainers.
So we've got myself, my business partner John.
Yeah.
So and another trainer called Sam. So Sam's been here for around about 10 years now.
Okay.
And we're the most experienced trainers here. And then we have Tom. This is a test now, isn't it? So everyone, the trainers do that thing where you forget someone's name.
Sorry.
So, I'll actually do it studio by studio. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, and then we have Tom and Andrew based here, along with our new trainer, Katie.
Okay.
So Katie's actually relocating down from London, where she was a fitness manager up at Virgin. So she's just building her business here, which is great. It's really exciting to have someone new in the business.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually very often have the opportunity to bring on new trainers, which is great for us because it's been pretty stable. But it's really nice to have someone new in the business.
Yeah.
And then at the other studio, you have myself, and then we have Vicky, James, our life coach, and then Anna, who used to be the fitness manager over at Nuffield Health, funny enough, actually.
Right, okay.
So, that's everyone. And then our sports massage therapist, which is Erin.
Okay. I think it was it Vicky I spoke to
last night
at the networking event. Now, she said to me that you don't realise how good you are.
Oh, that's very nice of her to say.
No, I mean,
that's very nice of her to say.
And I think that shows a certain character, because people who just show how good they are with their actions and their work, rather than vocalising it, I think they're powerful people. So, do you know how good you are?
If I'm honest, I've never really thought about it.
No, sure.
I think one of the things is I always... And I learnt this from James. So James actually used to be my mentor, and now I have a tutor up in London that I go and see.
Yeah.
And I think the mindset that's given me is always to be looking to try and progress myself. So it's never a case of stopping and thinking I'm good. It's just an idea of how can I improve and give the best service to my clients. And really the biggest thing is my clients are progressing. If they're enjoying their training, they're being consistent, they're achieving their goals, and they're progressing, then that's what tells me I'm doing a good job with them. But it never really stop and think about me. I just think about how I can progress. And also setting the example for the trainers.
That's important, isn't it?
It's huge, because if I'm going to... I always think you've got to lead by example. If I'm going to expect my clients to progress themselves, then I need to show that I'm progressing myself.
Yeah.
And if the trainers... if I'm expecting them to progress themselves and continue their education and deliver the best service possible, then I think it's really important that I'm doing that same thing. Yeah. So if someone isn't, we can have that conversation. Yeah. You can say, look, I'm doing it as a way of leading by example. Yeah. But that's very nice of her to say. She's never said that to me. But yeah, it's not something... It's funny, isn't it? Because you don't...
You wouldn't have heard that from her from first, No,
and I train a few of the trainers. Yeah. So which I thoroughly enjoy, because I enjoy educating. Yes. And I train Vicky and a few of the other trainers in the business, and it's thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah. She sort of implied that it was through mentoring it was mentoring and training that she made that comment. So two different things. So
and it's I really enjoy that. But it's funny because you spend a lot of time working with other people. Yeah. When you have a lot of clients, your time's so all consumed by them. Like you say, you don't stop and think about yourself.
No. Can we talk a little bit about pricing?
Yeah, of course.
How much it costs?
So I think one of the great things here is there's no membership fees.
Right.
So you literally come in and you pay for your hour with your trainer.
Okay.
Now, our prices run from £50 to £70 per hour. Right. So we've got Anna at £50 an hour. She's 6 years experience. Then we have our next level of trainers up, which is the majority of them at £60 an hour. Right. And then myself, John and Sam at £70 an hour. Okay. As the most experienced trainers. And I think one of the things that clients have really liked is the fact there is no membership fee, and it is incredibly flexible because you're only paying for that hour.
Yeah.
People actually really like that.
Okay.
I find more and more people don't want to be locked into things, and you see it, don't you? If you've got your Netflix or your Amazon Prime, you're very rarely locked into anything these days, and I think people sort of really appreciate that. So yeah,
that's like the gyms of the old day, the LA Fitness or whatever. You sign up with them, they've locked you in for 5 years.
Locked you in, right?
Yeah, you can't get out. Yeah,
and I think people just want more flexibility nowadays.
Yeah. So do they? Do you arrange like a timetable with them for the up and coming month, or like you say, just say, hey, I want an hour with you on Friday or whatever?
No, in terms of getting the best results, we find it's when clients have a specific session.
Right.
So for instance, I could, without looking at my diary for next week, if all my clients are in, I can tell you when exactly they're going to be in for the next 4 weeks.
Okay.
Because each client has their own specific time.
Right.
And that creates consistency more than anything else. Because what it means is, if you're going to try and book it week to week, then something's always going to come up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a meeting or there's a family thing or there's a lunch. But for my clients that sort of got the best results over a period of time, it's like my training session is 9 o'clock on a Monday, therefore the dentist won't be booked at 9 o'clock on a Monday because I already have a prior engagement.
Right.
So a lot of the trainers work like that. But we do have a few clients, each of us, who maybe need a bit more flexibility just due to work or family commitments, who will slot in around that. Okay. But primarily clients have a specific slot that they're slot.
Okay. And you mentioned the other venue. When did that come about? When did you get that? The Good Station Road one.
The Good Station Road we got in 2021. It actually opened on the day that all the restrictions after the second lockdown finished.
Okay.
So it was an opportunity that came sort of during that second lockdown with the studio, and the reason we did that was because just before COVID, we were effectively oversubscribed in terms of we actually had 7 trainers here, and we only really like 6 here as a maximum. Yeah. It's a noisy moped, isn't it? And the reason we limit it to that amount of trainers is because we want to keep that private space you were talking about earlier, so we can keep it person-centric. You're not queuing for equipment. The trainers feel that they can use their program that they've designed and aren't having to fit around other people. Yeah. But we were getting more inquiries than that amount of trainers could deal with. Okay. So when an opportunity came to actually get a second studio, we felt like we could now put more trainers into the business and cater for more clients, but without losing that privacy from the studio and feeling like all of a sudden people are on top of you and you might as well be back in a gym now. Yeah. Because we never want to lose that feeling.
No, that's what keeps you unique.
It does.
Yeah. And also in the heart of Tunbridge Wells as well. I mentioned it at the beginning of the interview, the location, how great that is. And the other location is still in the centre of Tunbridge Wells, but it's just out a little bit. But that doesn't cause you any problems because people just go there because it's a nice, safe space.
I think, this will always be effectively the flagship one, for want of a better term. Because if I go down to the networking event that we were at last night and I say TWPT, people think here. Yes, always. And so because the location, as you rightly pointed out, is brilliant. So it's still in the town, as you say, but it's a bit further out. Yeah. Most people don't mind which one they go to. Okay. If someone has got a locational sort of preference, 9 times out of 10 it'll be this one. Yeah. But most people are happy to go either way, depending on what gym is right for them. Okay. This gym offers a bit more like circuit style training. Yeah. We have all the resistance kit, but we have our boxing trainers here. Yes. So I believe we're the only space in town, if I got that wrong, I apologise, who offers 1-to-1 in a private setting. Okay. So a lot of people come here for boxing because they get the middle room to themselves, got a punch bag, we've got proper boxing coaches. Yeah. So circuits and stuff will tend to be done here. Yeah. Clients will also might go and train over at Calverley Park. We've got loads of outdoor equipment for the summer. Just across the road, isn't it? Just across the road. So quite often in the summer you find trainers up there and just mixing up the training a little bit. Yeah. The other studio's more specifically resistance training studio. Okay. But there is also the sports massage room and the life coaching. Right, okay. So it's this one primarily is the one that people will pick if they need to, but because on the website you've got things that stand out pretty much as far as training goes, and boxing is one of them amongst a couple of other things. When I came in here the other day, I went into that room, and I'm not a boxer or anything like that, but I saw the bag and I just wanted to hit it straight away. You did punch it, didn't you? Yeah, I did punch it, because I thought, I really love boxing, I love watching boxing. Yeah. And I've often thought about it, and it must be such a really, really good bit of exercise. You must burn a lot of calories doing that. It's brilliant. People love it. And the amount of people that don't come in to do it, and then we'll say to a client, would you want to do 10, 15 minutes at the end? They really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's fun punching something that can't punch back, first of all. But also, as you say, it's very good for the brain as well to orchestrate the movements. When you're really being taught it by some of our boxing coaches, to really understand the movements is actually quite technical. So people actually enjoy the cardio, enjoy learning the skill, and then actually, if you've got a bit of frustration, we had a bad day, it's not the worst thing to do as well. But the amount of times that you come at, if I'm training someone in the middle room, and I'll come into this room to grab something, and I wander back in, and I can just see that bag moving. You look at them; they've just had a little punch in it. It's all the time. It's just tempting, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. On your website, another thing which is a standout thing is goal setting, and that has to be a massive part of personal training, is it?
Yeah. It's going back to a bit of the psychology that we were talking about at the start. The goal setting is important for the trainer and the client. So, what are we designing this program for? We need to understand where you want to go in order to develop everything around that. Be it lifestyle, if we're looking at sleep and stress, maybe steps outside, your actual training program in the gym, nutrition. We need to understand what direction are we looking at moving, where you are now, and then we can start to build that plan. What we do a lot now, and you'll see this throughout the industry, is actually maybe wanting to get a bit more behind the goal of why. The amount of people that come in and they'll say, oh, I should do this. And I say, well, it's not about should. What would you like to do? What do you want to do? And you start to break down into why. And those whys, if we're looking more at the psychology thing, are the powerful hooks that actually get people to stick to their programs while they're away. A really obvious one is a client who was struggling to get up and down from the floor because she was losing strength in her knees and hips. But she was recently become a grandmother. And she wanted to be able to play with her grandchild. She wanted to be able to go out to the garden. She wanted to be able to take the grandchild to the park as they got older. She wanted to be able to get on the floor and mess around with the toys. So you get someone come, that's a pretty powerful goal.
That's the incentive, isn't it?
So you get someone come in and you start to, they might just say, oh, I just want to get a bit stronger. Well, okay, let's go in the gym. But if you go, well, why? Because of these powerful reasons, all of a sudden you've got that hook. And even for the client themselves, when they're not there, for maybe a bit of work to do away from the gym, that goes, it's easy to sack it off today. I'm not on my personal training session, but I won't because I really want to be able to do this. And so really understanding not only what the goal is, but why is this goal important to you? What's made you contact us and step into the gym? I maintain that one of the bravest things people can do is step into a gym, because so many people, if you're going into a gym, there's things about you that you probably feel a bit insecure about, and there's things you want to improve, right? And people have this vision of what gyms are like it's just an Arnie fest, everyone knows what they're doing, everyone's in great shape, it's all beautiful people. In reality, it's not, but that is the perception sometimes it can give off. So I think someone actually wanting to make that change and then being brave enough to either contact a personal trainer or step foot in a gym is incredible. And it's just about then the gym environment creating a space where they can then progress.
It's not intimidating.
Intimidating.
And that's the beauty of this place, because there's not all those people around, lifting weights and doing their muscles, and because I think people are worried about that. They do concern. But I've heard lots of people say, well, I don't want to go into that gym because there's all these, or I don't go in that part of the gym because there's all these people that seem like they know what they're doing and lifting big weights, and that's intimidating. So
it is, and it's really important. I mean, there's more education now about, say, women as they're going through the menopause. High increased chance of them actually getting osteoporosis, because one of the side effects of the hormones changing is the bone density decreasing. Well, the best way to reverse that or to stop that is resistance training, because bone density increases when force is applied to it, so resistance training. So actually for women it's incredibly important to be in the resistance area training weights for their health as they move forward. And that's one of the things that we found a lot of here, is that women have said to us that if they're in a gym, they can find that area quite intimidating. But actually when they come in here and then they learn the exercises, because a lot of our clients, once they build up their confidence, they might go and train alongside their PT sessions. So they go somewhere else and they sign up at a gym to supplement what they're doing here. But because they know what they're doing, because they've been taught, they now feel comfortable to walk into that gym environment, and they're probably doing it better than most people in there anyway.
Well, you've given them tools to go off and do it, haven't you?
And we want to increase their self-efficacy. We want them to be able to go and do it for themselves. We don't want them to rely on us. We're here as a support mechanism to be able to guide you towards your goals. But we never want it to be that you need us. we're going to hopefully give you all the tools that enable you to do it the whole time you're with us and beyond.
Yeah. Is that the most satisfying bit for you when someone do people reach their goals, or is there always a goal and then another one and then another one?
It's a really good question. Yeah. Normally, it's how you just said it in the latter bit there. It's where people come in with an initial goal, and as they start to just feel better, and they may lose a bit of weight, and they put a bit of muscle on, so they start to feel and look better. And then goals come along. You might get someone who suddenly wants to do a marathon, or suddenly they've got goals in terms of the amount of weight they want to lift, or they want to do a high rocks or a CrossFit. One of my clients who came to me and wanted to lose a lot of weight, this was 12 years ago, she wanted to be able to go and walk in the Rockies in Canada, and she was able to go and do that because she lost the weight and then she got stronger and fitter and healthier, and I love that. That's incredible, because now she's able to go and do something that she'd always wanted to do, and she still trains now, and now she lifts really heavy weights, which is cool. So we've got these little goal targets for that. It tends to, once someone's into the gym, they tend to then, the goals sort of flow, as you say, they sort of move on and they increase. So someone might want to do a photo shoot. So I had a client earlier in the year who took to a photo shoot where they want to get really super lean, and get all tanned up and then do some photos, just to sort of keep us a bit memento, but the skills they've learned in that journey they'll take with them. So the goals will change, but the biggest one that people say is how much better they feel.
Okay,
That's almost like, even when they're losing the weight, so losing the weight or building the muscle, but the amount of people that will be training for, let's say 3 or 6 months, it's the first time they've been training. I had this conversation with a client who's been training for 6 months this week, actually. And I was on holiday last week, and so she didn't train. And she was like, now she's regularly training, she realises how much better she feels when she trains. And that week not training, she didn't feel as good. Now, if you've never trained, you don't know that because you've never felt it. But once you're training, so that's one of the biggest things. People just say, I just feel better.
That's addictive, isn't it?
I just feel better. And so that's actually what keeps them coming. And sometimes people's goal of losing weight, they might not lose as much weight as they originally intended to. They've still lost a bit of weight, they put on a bit of muscle, like, actually, do you know what? I feel better now. I don't feel like I need to lose another stone. I feel all right. So it depends.
That's the best bit for you, I guess, seeing those results and hearing those people say those sort of things.
I love it, Nick, when they say previously they haven't enjoyed training. And we've created an environment that they now look forward to their sessions.
Excellent.
And again, it was a client I was talking to this week who said she's previously gone through stages of training or classes, and after a couple of months she starts to make excuses and not go. And she's never done that here. In fact, when I was away last week, she actually trained with another one of the trainers, Andrew, who was just here.
She's got the bug.
She's got the bug. And it's like, I love the fact that they're enjoying it. Because enjoyment, really, the most important thing is that someone enjoys it. Because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it. If you're going to do it, you're going to be consistent. If you're going to be consistent, you will get your results. If you don't enjoy it, the chances of you doing that long term are pretty slim.
Absolutely,
And it doesn't mean that you're always going to skipping into the gym and you're desperate to go in, but you're going to do it long term.
So if anyone out there wants a personal trainer, wants to come in, wants to just talk to you and learn more about it, they can just go on your website, book an appointment, just come in.
So the best way is to drop us we've got a contact form on our website. You can give us a phone call. Which is all on our website. The other thing we've got now actually is we've got a phone, because modern times. We've got a little mobile phone, and we're going to have a link on our website that links straight through to a WhatsApp on that phone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because apparently more and more people now, actually, if you're searching on your phone, you can contact us and obviously send us a little message, and we'll come back to you. But actually, just link straight through to a WhatsApp, and you just drop us a message that way. The one thing I would say is try not to knock on the door, because actually 9 times out of 10, if the trainers are here, they're with someone. So if you just sort of rock up, there may not be anyone here to show you around. But we can always book people in, because we're more than happy to book people in for free show rounds, and just so they can just pop in and have a chat. Just because you come in and had a tour and a chat, there's no obligation to train. No. So people are more than welcome to come in, see the place, just get some advice, and if they want to train, great, and if not, it's no trouble at all.
Excellent. Just before we wrap things up, what's your goals? What's your fitness goals?
Fitness goals.
Being a PT, you must be fit anyway. You don't need to do anything else, right?
Last year actually, fun enough, I did a photo thing myself actually, because I was best man at a wedding over in Italy, and we had the stag do before that, of course. And I was like, well, it's an opportunity for me to go just that little bit leaner than I would normally do. So I did that last year, and really since then it's just been a case of, when we're doing our training, it's just progressing yourself. So I've got my training plan, and each week it's just trying to get that little bit stronger, and I get enjoyment just from that. So at the moment there's no big goal, because I'm always going to train 5-6 days a week.
Right, yeah.
So it's just a case of within each session, can I just be that little bit stronger than I was last week?
Yeah.
And then across 12 months, that just gradually adds up.
Yeah,
marginal
you
gains.
feel better and better each day.
Feel better and better.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't have any big goals with my own physique at the moment, but it's just enjoying my training and making sure that I'm progressing, really, which is an enjoyable space to be in. Actually.
Yeah, nice one, Dan. I mean, you come across like you really, really enjoy it, and you do come across like you do know what you're doing as well, which is really important. So thank you, and thank you for asking me to come in and talk to you. It's been really great.
No, brilliant. Thank you for your time, Nick.
And so we'll see you all for another podcast soon. Thanks, Dan. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.